Happening now on VGN, the ESA has released its yearly breakdown of gamers for 2017 in the US, and as always, there's some pretty interesting statistics in here, so let's get started. Looking at the households, 67% of households own a device that is used to play video games, 97% checking in with the PC master race, followed by smartphones, wireless devices like tablets, and then sitting right below 50%, we have the dedicated game consoles. And people are looking at charts like this, and this is why analysts are saying that, consoles are on their way out and they expected them to be dead this generation because these other devices like smartphones and tablets are becoming so prominent. But we all know that that didn't happen, and the console market is definitely still alive and kicking well. The average gamer is 35 years old, breaking them down by gender, which I don't know why you would do that since we're all equal. They say that the average female gamer is 37 years old. The average male is 33. They also point out women age 18 and older represent a greater portion of gamers than boys under the age of 18, which I'm not really sure how that's noteworthy. Like, women tend to have fairly lengthy lifespans. They live into their 70s, 80s, 90s, and longer sometimes. So, yeah, you would think that there would be a lot more women over the age of 18 than there would be boys under the age of 18, and yes, a lot of those would play games. And even though NeoGAF will ban you for simply asking this question, yes, this does include mobile games because females do tend to favor mobile a little bit more. The average VR owner is 31 years old, and they claim that over 90% of PC and console VR owners are satisfied with their purchase, which seems a little higher than what I would have expected because most of the time whenever I hear people talking about VR, they talk about how their headset's just sitting there collecting dust. They also say that 1 in 3 gamers claim that they are likely to buy VR in the next year, which is a pretty good amount if that holds true. Here's a chart of the best-selling games of 2016. Nothing too surprising other than the fact that Grand Theft Auto is still making an insane amount of sales and money, even though it released several years ago, which honestly, I still think it's great because that game, there's so much content packed into that, $60 price tag that it's amazing. And so I'm glad that those games are continuing to sell. And you'll also notice that some of the best-selling games are M-rated for mature, which according to some mainstream media outlets means that we're all at risk for turning into psychopathic serial killers at some point in the near future if you're playing any of these M-rated games. The top-selling video games broken down by genre. All of you people complaining that there's too many shooters on the market. We need more than just shooters. Well, it's because they're selling the best, and so devs know this. Action games, role-playing games coming in distant second and third, and everything else way behind. So yeah, JRPGs still very much a niche. We've been talking about digital surpassing physical sales in recent years, and that trend continues with 74% of sales in 2016 being digital, only 26% being physical, which is pretty drastic. I mean, you see the timeline, it's happening fast, the transition, but this is also a little misleading because you have to factor in that this is counting subscriptions, DLC, mobile apps, social games, and a lot of items that physical isn't even an option for most of the time. And, of course, a lot of games on PC don't even have a physical option. So the stats are a little bit skewed, but there's still no denying that digital is becoming more popular. And when you factor in recent moves like that Microsoft is making, where they offer no questions asked refunds now like they do on Steam and Origin, and where they're letting you buy one copy of a game and get it digitally on 2 different platforms with the Play Anywhere, that is only going to push the digital trend upwards. But I would still like to be able to see like newer games and the breakdown between a game and how much it sold digitally and how much it sold physically, but we really don't have those figures for a lot of items just yet. Factors influencing what leads gamers to purchase a game. Why is it that you're buying that game? Number 1, quality of graphics. Sad. Is the game fun? Who cares? Look at that rock tessellation, bro. So, I mean, you wonder why Sony has talked all generation long about power and why Microsoft is now focusing on power. It's because That's what the mob wants. You know, screw gameplay, screw an interesting story, or why it might be one in a favorite series that you're getting. You know, graphics, #1 feature that people are looking for when it comes to this survey. Very sad. Moving on, before you get too depressed with the state of gaming, spending continues to increase, with the vast majority being spent on content itself. And that is your latest breakdown of gamers in 2017. I only pulled the most interesting parts out, so there are a few more stats that you can check out by visiting videogamesandnews.com or checking out the link in the description box. Post below what, if any, of those stats were surprising to you. That does it for me, the Red Dragon. I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.